are once again recording very early in the morning. Did we record the last one very early in the morning?
I think we did.
Yeah.
You have to get up early in the morning to record a Twin Humanities.
So, again, hello to all you truckers out there. This is the shipping forecast. $2.99. Do
you know what episode we're on?
Yeah, I do. 71.
Yeah, so do I. I looked it up too.
What, you've prepped?
I wrote TH71.
You see,
with an asterisk.
I was taking my first sip of coffee of the day, and then you hit me with a revelation, and you are not going to make me spit that out, sir. You are not.
So how are you?
I'm doing all right, I think. You?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Yeah, I recorded a shitload of One Bro last night, so yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
We will. We'll get there.
Yeah. I've been Newsy the Newsman, which is essentially what this episode's going to be. It's going to be a lot of catch up with all the stuff that's happened around the remaster in the last week and a bit, maybe. So
Newsy the Newsman.
Yeah, so I've been...
This really is morning radio, isn't it?
Newsy the Newsman. And now over to Barbara. Yeah, that was Britney Spears. Hit me, baby, one more time. Is that the wrong way round? No, it's still early. Now,
that was okay. No, I think that was right.
Now to Darren in the helicopter. It's madness out here! Hold on, I've got... No, that just sounds like the Ortega's fight. Alright, so yeah, I've been trying to post up everything that I can find at the Twin Humanities Twitter.
Okay.
And I have been using my Dark Souls comb. It's full of blood. And
this is cool because I have not taken a vow of silence, but just not really been following it.
You know those reaction channels?
Yeah, this is like one of those, but in audio.
Yeah. And this is going up on YouTube, and what are you going to do later this afternoon?
Oh, yeah.
Can I get a haircut?
Oh, shit, no. Not a YouTube haircut, though.
Yeah, you'll do it, please.
No, I have to work. I have to look at myself in the mirror every morning, and it's hard enough as it is.
Yeah. When somebody buys a sofa, like, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, God.
What? I've just bought a sofa.
People walking, yo, how's it going, guys? Welcome to the shop.
Yeah, well, let me know what you think in the comments. just bought a sofa. Where am I putting the comments? Right, so to go back to the beginning of the story, a week and a bit back, Bando. I can never say this without saying Bamco. Bandai Namco. Is it Bandai Namco or is it Namco Bandai now? Which way round is it? It's early.
Bando Cargando Nando.
I don't know. Is it? I'm gonna have to put this into Twitter.
Samba de Amigo.
It is Bandai Namco. I just have trouble saying it. My brain just goes like Bunda Bumble.
Bumbag Nimble, say.
That's good. Yeah. So a week and a bit back, Bandai Namco's Ruby Rumjan posted out a pic of a bunch of monitors all set up with Dark Souls Remastered emblazoned upon them, with the promise of previews to follow. All of those previews broke the Tuesday after Easter. So like I say, I've done my best to wade through and find out everything that's going on. So DualShockers bounced up first on my Twitter feed with two vids. One was a comparison between PS3 and PS4 Pro, and another was a 10-minute capture of the game leading up to Lordran.
Mm.
In the PS3, PS4 Pro comparison, there was a distinct difference in colour, which wasn't prominent in the other gameplay. The new footage looked super colourful, and honestly didn't compare too well with the sort of moodier, darker PS3 footage. Mm-hmm. A new effect was in place for the fog wall, which somebody on Reddit sort of said, it's a bit spermy, isn't it? And then somebody else just piled straight in with like sticky white stuff. So well played, that person.
Good job.
So yeah, there was that new fog effect before the Asylum Demon, and I think I've warmed to that effect a little bit. But rather than it being sort of the thick, dense fog of the original, it is kind of an undulating, sort of shimmering. It's effects basically. bit, bit overdone, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of the few things I've cause I've not, like I said, I've not followed much of the preview stuff. I kind of watched a little bit, but it's Dark Souls. Don't need to watch it. I don't like the fog wall. Don't like it. It does look. It is just the easiest comparison. It does look just like a wall of jizz, whereas it used to look like smoke, and now it looks like jizz.
Yeah, would you battle a monster if you had to walk through a wall of jizz first?
You think you do that first one when you walk into the boss fight and you fight it and you lose and you come back and it's like, oh, no, I'm good. No, this is where the game ends.
Yeah, I've come back from
the true Dark Souls is if you're willing to walk through a wall of jizz. But yeah, as the colour as well. I not to knock you off your flow, but I thought I'll talk while we're here. Like, I watched a comparison vid of PS3 versus PS4. It doesn't look right.
The
colours look wrong and the lighting looks wrong.
One of the things that I found out a little bit afterwards was that people that were going in to capture this stuff smashed the gamma way up, so it may look a little bit darker. In fact, some of the later footage I've seen does look a little bit darker, but there is different lighting going on, which has got good and bad points. I did like the new effect on the soul. I thought that was kind of cool. Oh,
it looks more in line with the other ones, doesn't it? It's just a bit lower. Yeah, that's fine.
A bit more swirly. So yeah, the 10-minute stretch of these videos looked better. The colour to darkness ratio looked a bit more like the original, but it didn't look any truly great shakes beyond what we knew. It was Dark Souls, which is what you wanted.
Yeah.
So IGN then sort of smashed in to clarify changes. PC full 4K, PS4 Pro and Xbox One X upscaled 4K, 60 frames per second. Regular PS4 and Xbox One 1080p 60 frames per second. Switch 1080p docked, 720p in handheld, 30 frames per second for both of those.
It just sounded like maybe this is me, but it just sounded like you were just reading off random numbers there. My brain just shut off.
Basically,
God,
PS4.
I know it's important, but those number stuff, my brain just shut right off for all that.
Right, I know you're not quite the.
I'm not doing it on purpose, I promise.
Digital paddy, but PS4 and Xbox One, 1080p because I think the old ones were 720p anyway, 60 frames per second. Pro and One X get that upscaled to 4K, not native, but it's still 60 frames per second. And then the Switch is 1080p docked, 720p in handheld, but that's 30 frames per second like the original.
Okay.
Are you good with that? Is it digested?
Just about. I mean, I don't trust Digital Foundry anymore because Eurogamer shared one of their things about the differences between the last gen and current gen versions, but they had a picture of Dark Souls 3 on the article.
Oh wow!
So I don't know who to trust anymore.
that's just life, isn't it?
And I really I did tweet it, but I didn't sort of tweet it at them. I just sort of isn't this Dark Souls 3? Lol. Because I didn't want to be that guy. I hate that guy in the twits, but I had to share it.
Well, as long as you do it sort of nicely.
Yeah.
There was something in one article that went. Or I'm not saying which one it was, but there was something that wasn't correct that I knew, and I sort of I messaged the writer, and he was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I was writing this really late at night," and I was like, "It's not a problem, mate. It's all right."
Oh, it's okay then.
Yeah. So my good
you jizz trumpet
to balance out all the badness.
Yeah.
Moving on. Online multiplayer. Maximum number of players online has increased from 4 to 6.
What? That's too many players.
We discussed
Game's
this last
over.
time,
Game's dead. Game's dead. Yeah, I know we did.
The dried finger item will be needed to play with 6 players.
Okay.
The dried
so
finger.
It's opt-in.
The dried finger has been moved from the painted world of Ariamis to the Undead Berg Merchant to be obtainable earlier in the game. The dried finger
next question.
The dried finger location in the painted world has been replaced with a twin humanities item.
Hey, play the music.
So yeah, it's just you and I waving Gwan.
Just sitting inside a painting, just thrusting.
So what do you think with that?
I think that's good. That's actually assuaged one of my worries. because like you've got your summon, and you bring like 2 boys in, and you maybe have 1 invader, or you've got 1 boy and 2 invaders. That feels kind of good. Like that feels like a good number. I never found the up to 6 player stuff in Dark Souls 3 to be that great. Like I know a lot of people enjoyed it because it was kind of essentially Souls chaos. Like Souls Battle Royale. It was a precursor to Fortnite. They're just adding players until there are enough players that it can support. But it doesn't feel right to me. Like I like that it's now opt-in rather than, I'm running through the game. Here's 4 invaders, get fucked. Like, because the Undead Burg is going to get ruined if you can just have up to 4 invaders at once.
That's said, just to kind of interject and take a sidestep, because I was going to mention this last time and forgot. But a few folks have said, with the Battle Royale genre sort of going all over the place now, a lot of folks have gone, I'd really dig a Dark Souls Battle Royale. And I thought, I'd watch that on Twitch. I would watch like 100 people like narrowing down over like a series of God knows how many hours to just one person.
Think about the frame rate.
I'd watch the hell out of it. I genuinely would watch the hell out of it. And whilst we've seen sort of the likes of Sunlight Blades videos and various folks meeting up for PvP with their sort of stream viewers and stuff like that, just to see that many people in the community like battling each other and then moving on, I think that'd be great.
So like say, okay, let's workshop this quick. Like what about like would you take a map from the game, or would you make something new? Would you just take Darkroot Garden as is? 100 people around the edges, go.
Well, you'd have to have a big map because you'd sort of slowly sort of making it smaller and smaller and smaller, aren't you? So would you just like kick people all over the game and like just to have people like wandering throughout into some sort of to the final battle in like Darkroot or something like that?
Like all the doors open, like a free roam almost mode where you could run around any way you felt like. And then as the game constricts, bits of the level fall off the map.
Yeah, or just like sort of massive fog wall sort of appears, so you can't go back.
The Jism's coming.
Well, literally. But I suppose if you were looking for a great place for the final battle, you could have that in the Artorias arena.
Anywhere.
That'd be great. Or you could basically, it could just fling you into portals to like different places to meet up with wherever other people are. But I'd still watch the hell out of that because I love watching Dark Souls PvP. So, password matchmaking is now available.
Hooray!
Similar to Dark Souls 3, when a player is summoned in password matchmaking, the player level will be synced. So
so I'm kind of, I have thoughts on this again. That's a really good change, right? That's really good. I like the change. I think, I think that's really good. It's a good quality of life thing. These days people haven't got time to stand around looking for each other 20 minutes. But that was fun, though.
Do you remember when we were convinced that swapping out weapons and shields and stuff like made us find each other like
it was
easier?
voodoo because it re-pings the character model, so it would send it to your game again.
I've just seen a ghost that looks a bit like you that's twatting about with swords and shields. Could be anybody. Could be anybody, to be fair.
No, to be fair, I definitely remember seeing a ghost just constantly swapping their weapon. I was like, I think I found you.
It could have been anyone, though.
It could have been.
Because we were all at it.
I think is my prime memory of that is Anil Londo stood around like the bottom of that first elevator down to it, running around the corner where the chest is, and just like running around going, where is it? Come on, please.
Let me see. It's now easy for friends to be matched with each other. When the guest player's character level and weapons is higher than that of the host player, the level will be adjusted accordingly. Healing items will not be available during PvP, with the exception of Estus flasks. To prevent long and drawn-out battles, the number of Estus flasks is halved for phantoms.
Wait, healing item? There's only one?
Well, I
suppose like Divine Blessing. Who uses a Divine Blessing? Have you ever used a Divine Blessing?
No.
No.
There's Humanities also.
Oh,
Twin Humanities.
That's better.
But yeah, you get phantoms and I presume invaders will only have half the amount of flasks. So I presume with it saying phantoms, that's what it means. It means like invaders because you don't get to heal, do you?
No, so you can have a bit of a longer fight without it being turn up gank by.
Because in the first one, it takes the summoner to heal you. Is that the same in PvP though? Or do you get to use your own Estus?
No, I think it's the same. I think it was a flat thing that you and your team, the summoner, has to deal with the Estus for everybody. Yeah, that was. God, I remember yelling at each other during I think it was on Scene of Smoke, saying, "Heal me, heal me."
Yes,
but I'm fine. I don't care. I need it now.
I remember though, thinking at the time that you know when you do get invaded or you have a battle with somebody, and they use an Estus. I was always really disappointed. I'd wish that invaders couldn't use Estus, and neither could you. And it would just it would just be a battle based around what you got. In fact, that's probably the thing I'd do for a battle royale. I'd just make it no Estus, so people have their battle and then move on. That'd be cool.
I always thought that I think which game did it this way, where invaders can't drink but hosts can. Or I think it was Bloodborne that weighted the health of invaders and the power of invaders down a bit compared to the summon, to the main host, because that invader has turned up specifically to fuck with you. They're coming in for one reason. They're not playing the level. They're coming in with a player killing set on them. And if you've got your level set on where you're like, oh, I've got poison resist on because I'm in a poison area, and someone just turns up with some nasty shit. And it's not. I don't think it is a fair playing ground. And that's part of what makes invaders scary, is because they're probably going to kill you.
Play the bad guy, yeah.
Yeah, but when you want to have a decent fight, and it would level the playing field a little bit, I think. Invaders shouldn't be able to heal. You're turning up to fuck with me. You don't get any better help.
When a player defeats an invading phantom, their Estus flask is restored. So yeah, it is talking about invaders.
Oh wait, so does that mean fully? So if you fight someone down and use up 10 Estus fighting them, rather than then having to go back because I ain't going to beat this boss with one Estus, it will just refill for. That's cool.
Yeah, so if they are talking about invaders then for half the number of Estus flasks, that's fair enough because it is weighted on the side of the person that's defending, that's not attacking. So, but when you defeat them, you get your full Estus flask.
That'd be a nice little animation to go and pick up their Estus flask and tip it into yours.
That'd be cool.
I'll have this, mate. Ooh, rum. Ooh.
Players can turn on and off global matchmaking. Players can now prevent matched red phantoms from seeing the white soapstone sign.
What?
Players can now prevent matched red phantoms from seeing their white soapstone sign. Oh, does it mean that the invaders can't see that you've put down looking for help, or I don't know. I'm showing ignorance here.
That's weird. I don't understand that one. No. It can't see that you've put or they can't see soapstone signs in your game. So if you're running to a sign to bring someone in, they can't see, or they can't stand around where the soapstones are. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it means. It's probably.
They're always in the same place anyway, though, aren't they? So.
Well, depends.
Or will they be? Will they be? It's the remaster. Could be different people playing. There might be new hot zones.
Yeah. Players can no longer summon ally phantoms consecutively when in combat with enemy phantoms. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so once you've begun,
yeah. If say somebody invades us, and they kill you, I can't bring you back in that fight.
Could you bring in a new person?
I presume so. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Hold on. It can no longer summon ally phantoms.
So once the invaders turned up, you're locked. That's cool.
And yeah, that's pretty good because I think they had a lot of that in the previous games as well, didn't they? Like DS3 especially.
Jeremy did that to me during Dick Week.
We
were having a nice good fight, and then he summoned some dude who was AFK, and then woke up just when he wasn't supposed to.
In online play, players who are outside of the host parameter range will not be matched with each other. The players can still be matched via password matchmaking.
So if you try and summon each other in without passwords, but your way out, it won't work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Again, that's fair enough.
That's fine. Yeah, that works.
Excuse me. Arena 3v3 and 6-player deathmatch have been added. Arena battles can also use password matching.
For those 6 people that play Arena, that's going to be really good.
Well, again, you've got to think of the amount of people that will be coming into this, not just coming back to the game, but will be coming in fresh that have maybe never played the original Dark Souls. Because, Bloodborne was huge on PS4.
A lot of people's first Souls game, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
Sorry, wait, not Soulsborne. That's the bad word.
No, don't say that word.
Cakey pie.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of those did run backwards to DS2, and then the people with PCs or PS3s got to play Dark Souls, and then maybe Demon Souls, and most I'd say jumped on for Dark Souls 3. But I'd still say there's a fair amount of those people that have never played the original game, and also you've got to consider that because it's the first time on a Nintendo console, there might be those people that only buy Nintendo consoles in the way that you only buy PlayStation consoles, who have never played a Dark Souls game before. So that's good. That's going to be really exciting to see them try stuff out, to figure stuff out in the same way as we did when we were first there. So it also says in the arena battles that respawn points will be random, which is
okay. I literally have never used the arena.
No,
I don't know how it works.
Are you rubbish at fighting?
Well, no, I'd still love the fact, I was talking about this with Laura the other day, that the arena in the DLC was right there, but the PvP hotspot was the small courtyard 10 yards away from the arena.
This is true.
I love that. I see what you've done here, but we don't want it. We're going to just have some fun near it.
Was it somebody said it's like having a dedicated racetrack where everybody's doing donuts in Sainsbury's car park just down the road. Let me see. Everything else. Players can select the number of usable items, such as consumable souls or covenant items, to use instead of one at a time, as in the original game. Can I get hallelujah? Brilliant.
Jesus Christ. As someone who recently did the whole 30 humanity thing to open the shortcut, Christ, that was bullshit. The sunlight coins thing was always like offer up your coins to one by one.
Snatching. Yeah,
they're just a coin as well. Like it's like I've got more. Like no, one at a time.
The number of languages has been increased to the number found in Dark Souls 3. A bonfire has been added next to Vamos the blacksmith.
I don't know what to make of that. I mean, it's cool because it makes him actually a viable blacksmith again, but I don't think I ever really used him. But it is a bitch getting down to him. So
I'll be honest, I can't remember Vamos the blacksmith.
You can't remember Vamos the blacksmith?
No.
Should I give you an audio helper? Get out of here! He's got like a rate. Like, it's very hard to replicate. Like imagine his.
That didn't ring any bells. It was just like Paddy with a ball gag. I know, it's serious.
Right, imagine the Skype call goes really, really bad for a second, right? So when it kind of goes all kind of scratchy and radio. He's got one of those kind of voices like he's talking inside of a metal tin.
Whereabouts is he?
He's a big skeleton in the bottom of the catacombs. And you drop down to him, and he tells you to fuck off. Yeah, and he smashes a wall.
Like a weird.
Yeah,
I do remember him.
Yeah, and he's got a voice like really, really, really bad audio, and it doesn't sound right. It just sounds like they've knocked the bit rate down to something stupid.
It's been a long time since I played the original, so it's
and if it's someone you never use as well, like who dis?
Yeah. Covenants can now be switched at bonfires. Because I'm sure somebody... I watched a video the other day which stated that your covenant stuff with the fella in the bell tower made no difference whatsoever when you were trying to get saved or whatever.
Okay. He was about sin though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He'd absolve you of your sin, that if you swatched a covenant or you betrayed a covenant, he'd absolve you of that. If you angered an NPC, like I keep doing with Onion Bro forever.
Apparently that makes no difference.
Huh.
So
I'm not sure about that. I think that's too easy.
What a commentary on organised religion. Let me see. This is a big one. Button configuration is available.
Ah. I'd heard they'd be able to. You can remap jump to left click compared to circle, which is great.
Yeah. So items will not automatically be registered into an item slot when picked up.
Oh, thank fuck. Oh my god, I've lost track, particularly on the One Bro run, where I've been trying to kind of survive and flip to my Estus quickly, and it's like, oh cool, you've used Soul of a Hero. Like, no, why? Not now.
So imagine you've been playing through the game and you've gone to.
I don't need to imagine. I have been.
Yeah, I'll just try and
Did it yesterday?
That in your mind. And
I'll think back. Hang on, I'll think back to the heady heights of 12 hours ago. Okay, I'm there.
And you've selected fire bombs, and you're throwing them at somebody, and you somebody invades you, or you get twatted and you didn't realise, and you need to get back to your Estus flask. So this relates to this. When the up or down directional pad button is held down, the first item equipped will be selected.
That's a Dark Souls 3 thing. Yeah, that's alright. That can stay.
The online network has been changed from P2P to dedicated service.
File under OVNer means nothing to me.
Well, on the previous one, it was us hopefully trying to find each other and looking for each other, and this one is quicker, more accurate. It means your fights are going to be better if you get invaded, less lag.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
We will, but there's a hope there, oh skeptic.
Ooh.
So yeah, back to the unveiling. Andy Hamilton went to the BAMCO event on behalf of VG247, wrote a piece on his findings, prefacing with a bit on Twitter, saying, honestly, I wasn't that impressed, and I couldn't see if Blighttown was any better performance-wise. Still the best game ever made, mind. In the article, he goes on to describe the game as a tidy-up, not an overhaul. Performance is an unknown quantity as well. I experienced some stutters in the area near the bonfire in the Undead Chapel, which does not exactly instill confidence. Of course, this isn't the final build, so we will have to give Bandai Namco the benefit of the doubt. So you see, when all of these sort of puff pieces elsewhere were coming up, and they were just like, look at it, there's the difference, look how fast it is. Like, it was the first time I'd kind of seen a little bit of honesty come through, which was nice. So,
well, it's not like it's being remade from the ground up, is it? It's literally just being HDified with those tweaks that we've just talked about in a lengthy. Oh my god, we could have done mechanics news.
So,
fuck.
Last episode,
we need to start again.
Last episode, we spoke about the differentials of what we might be getting. We sort of had a bit of a chat on Varty's thoughts of a Scholar of the First Sin type remix versus a straight port of the original, with the odd bell and whistle here and there. And it looks like we're getting something close to the middle ground then, with the main bulk of changes coming to PvP with the 6-player battles and stuff, a few moved items, and a new bonfire near the boss. So I wonder how much longer the rest of us will have to wait for our network test. And if this version, if it's sort of the version that has been played at sort of Namco's offices, or if we're going to get something that's maybe a step on from that. Is it too late for a step?
Have there been any dates put through for the network test yet? Is it
Not
still
yet,
an unknown quantity?
But it is going to be on everything.
Everything? Yeah, everything, isn't it?
So, Varty then put up a video. He wanted to play a Slayer, so he killed him.
Okay.
Are we judging that?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're judging that. I think
not
that's...
as if what if it was Onion Bro?
Well, he dies anyway.
No, he's such a bitch.
Look. I never do it on purpose.
There's no moving away from that.
It happened again. On the fucking One Bro video. It fucking happened again.
You're plugging that quite heavily, aren't you? I might have to cut a bit of this. a bit of these bulletins out.
Have you watched Paddy Does One, bro? It's pretty good. You should watch it. Everyone should.
I've seen a very special episode, but I can't talk about that yet.
Can't talk about that one yet. No, it's not up yet.
So, so Varty's in his Slayer outfit. He noticed that ivy in the Berg was now animated. The grass in Firelink swayed in the breeze. Fire gives off smoke. Blood has a new effect, which is quite gushy. Death has you dissipating into this kind of spritzy mist. There's still some buggy and missing textures in there. The remaster handles light much better. Varty describes the original as looking harsh and unrealistic in comparison. Although whilst the new stuff does look more natural, the contrast and colours in the comparison just don't seem to pop as much. You can scale the UI up or down, making the game way more cinematic, in Varty's opinion. If you scale the UI, you can hold the D-pad and it will skip straight to the first item in your inventory, as mentioned earlier. Varty said, Dark Souls Remastered makes no development effort to lure veteran players back. But then he ends really positively regarding a game full of people, lots of new folks streaming the game, which is cool. Sunlight Blade was there as well, posted a pretty cool preview. He obviously talked about his excitement of getting back into the PvP. Then overnight, everything cracked off. Reddit had exploded, wondering why there'd been a downgrade. This centered around such things as the helmet and the opening scene, seemingly less detailed on the Pro version, which was missing loads of scarring and scratches. 4 or 5 examples were made, and had those folks with PCs certainly guessing as to why they should stop playing their DS Fix original and move on to this new version, because I suppose it's really going to divide the user
that
base.
That thing's modded to shit, isn't it? Yeah, that they've made their own HD version like 4 years ago. So
yeah, I was reading through that, and then had a quick bath, cleaned and preened, and Digital Foundry certainly hadn't messed about with their analysis, arriving at the perfect moment.
Right, P's news.
They noticed a mixture of new and old textures and a mainly solid frame rate. They spoke about the lack of detailing on the helmet in the opening scene, adding that the more subtle lighting engine was the reason behind it. This being the reason that the lighting wasn't as harsh. That the lens flare is missing when the Hellkite arrives in Undead Berg.
Okay.
But on the other side of it, the armors in the games are now reacting to things like torches on the wall, the bonfire and stuff. But they hope that the kind of odd aspects could be fixed in the final build.
Yeah, I mean, what I've noticed as well, like I've seen a couple of like videos from a few places actually, like even like the PlayStation Access guys as well did one, like a comparison video thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think they picked the Pyromancer class. I think it was they picked to start with. And yeah, like the player character, again, this could be from the capture or the light, but it looked flat. It didn't look lit at all. It looked like a very basic, unlit model. It looked really like... It looked bad.
Because I think what they've gone to is the original had brights that were really, really bright, and then sort of, quite super darks, and then the colours were sort of vivacious in between. And this seems to have gone to a more natural and reactive lighting engine. But like I say, the stuff in the Digital Foundry video where they were saying the armor, rather than just doing what it did in the original, is like reacting to torches on the wall and bonfires and that kind of stuff.
The capes flow and stuff. Do things work flappy? Like the Pyromancer's gear, for instance, does it flap around?
I don't know.
I'd like it to.
So yeah, we'll have to see that on that front. I mean, at this point I questioned as to what stage this build was, and if it is incomplete, then isn't it detrimental to show it now? I did receive a message, which the person who sent me that message I shall keep under a veil of silence, saying that they believed what was being played was the final build.
Okay.
So I guess we'll see in the network test or maybe in a day one patch.
Interesting.
See how trusting you twin Humanities boys are, eh?
We'd never sell you out, Jeremy. What?
It wasn't Jeremy.
Of course it wasn't Jeremy. He doesn't know anything.
So this then sort of sprinked me back to playing the original.
Hey!
So
lad. How did that go? Tell me about it.
Right, so I haven't played it for years. And I think possibly...
How many copies have you got?
We'll go into that in a bit. I think the reason that I hadn't played it for so long is possibly because everyone who absolutely despised Dark Souls 2 endlessly bollocks on about how it just didn't compare to the original. I mean, the same way as like I can't watch Cowboy Bebop now because so many people just think it's the only anime, and that anime is kind of trousers.
I get that. No, I get that as well. I understand where you're coming from. Like, I don't like watching shows that everybody's banging on about. Like, I've still not watched Stranger Things yet because every fucker's banging on about it still. And I think I'm sick of those children before I've even watched the show.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. And when it's died down, outside of maybe the hype cycle, we'll play it. But, I mean, you're a contrary bastard at the best of times. And
I just think it's in my DNA. But...
this thing, CJ? No.
I started playing something else. I don't know why. The original Dark Souls had its issues, but I kind of, within the haze of all the, Dark Souls is perfect. No, Dark Souls 2 is rubbish. Oh my god. I'd kind of forgotten how wonderful Dark Souls actually is. So I've been getting excited for the remaster anyway, but I put in the 360 version, backwards compatible on Xbox One, for a bit of a swoosh around. A lot came back in acclimatizing. Not only that the game it is just lightning in a bottle.
Isn't it, though?
It is just lightning in a bottle. I forgot exactly how good, how good it is. But little things I'd forgotten, like how methodical it is. Like, I love the slow, determined pace of demons. That it felt physical, and I like that. It was very thought out. And Dark at the time seemed very arcadey in comparison, sort of faster and lighter compared to that demon's sort of weighty.
I remember us talking about this.
Yeah,
for a while. I remember this on the earlier couple of episodes. I remember us talking about this exact thing.
So,
are we remastering the podcast?
Yeah, we are, yeah. So I told myself I was going to do the dragon skip. Of course. So to say I hadn't played it for ages, I was like, I'm going to do that hard thing and get a really cool shield. And like, oh my god, Black Knight. So down to New Londo, Valley of the Drakes, back up to the forest, up to Andre, back around to the Undead Bergbomf. And it took me a while to find my feet, but soon I was sort of racking up huge souls, helping folks out with Taurus. I went back to join the Sunlight Covenant. I told Solaire I still believed in him, even when Hidetaka Miyazaki didn't. And then I went praising the sun like it was 2011.
Beast.
Yeah. I was surprised that my summon sign had changed. Like, proper drinking in the fact, no pun intended, that it looked like I was made of iron brew.
No.
So after I joined the Covenant and then I laid like the sign down on the floor, I just went, oh. As if like, I don't know. It was just funny. And my reaction amused me even more. So I'm just waiting. I'm just sort of running around, just waiting to see if I get summoned in, and I'm still like,
yellow
memories in the corner of my mind. So I started racking up sunlight medals. I still haven't leveled anything up other than the bunny stick. So I had a moment as well when I killed the Black Knight in co-op, and the player concerned dropped the Black Knight Greatersword as thanks.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, this is great. And at first no one was using emotes, and I fell back into and I tweeted about this, and I still think it's probably the best tweet that I've ever put out. The sort of, back in my day, people were courteous. None of this spinning around with their right stick and running off. We were grateful. I actually sounded like an NPC then, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah.
Do a chuckle now.
That. I sounded a bit like that lad in Dark Souls 2. That's Vengal. That's it.
Vengal,
return me to my body. So he was great voice actor. So then folks were emoting all over the place after that. It's almost like a tempted fate. After beating the Black Knight, after playing Havel Tennis, which I'd forgotten about, after Taurus went like swish kaboom. There's not much room to emote, is there? After a boss battle, you really have to be like straight in there.
You get like one off if you're lucky until people vanish.
Yeah. I mean, like obviously now I can praise the sun. I praise the sun, but there is that sheer joy of just popping straight into a point down on the ground.
You're dead now, son.
Yeah.
I never used that one. I always keep
that one in the inventory because it's great. It's just
disrespect.
He gone.
You got. I kind of that one I use. I like the what is it? The come at me, bro. Like that's more fun. Like
that's one I don't use, or I've not. I might not even have that one yet, but I'm not. I'm not using it yet.
Do you want to know a secret? On my One Bro run, I don't have Praise the Sun.
What?
I never joined the Covenant. I don't know why. I must have missed it when I was doing it, but I never joined the Covenant, and now I think it's too far now. I don't think I can go back and do it now.
So yeah, I built up at one point about 60,000 souls, and then got cocky and lost it.
Wait, 60,000 souls? What? Fighting the Taurus demon?
Yeah, just
CJ
around in the undead book.
How many souls do you get for the Taurus demon?
You don't get a lot.
A couple of thousand?
1,500 maybe.
This is why you don't finish anything.
I just get lost in the loop. I was just
gonna fight this first boss another 18 times.
I was just kind of enjoying it, and I didn't really want to move on. And I thought, like, I might stick to this Wombo run. I might not. And then I realised that I'd gone with the Depraved, which starts off at level 6 anyway. So no, that's normally the one that I start off with, because most of the clothes that you start off with are a bit rubs.
Well, you start with Life Affirming Flesh, don't you?
You just, as long as I can find like the reinforced club, and then just the normal club, and then a pair of trousers. That's all a man wants.
A shield that's not a bit of wood.
No, well, I got the Grass Crest shield at this point, and I was two-handing, which also means that your left one can be the wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. which is great. I do enjoy the wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I shake my stick at you, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of ace to kind of sandwich that joy with seeing your upcoming fight with Arturius for your Wombro run, which is just super special. Not just the fight, but Paddy, the planning,
the work,
the execution.
I don't even want to, because I think when this blows up, I don't think it will be up yet.
I've already told Timur about it, because Timur shares a connection with it, and he's.
Oh, I knew he. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So yeah, being very vague. So I can say,
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
I'm not going to say anything about it.
Don't.
I'll just say the episode number to look out for, because I've said this on Twitter. This isn't a thing. Episode 90 is a bit special.
Yeah.
And it will be out in about, I mean, this is probably going to go up probably tomorrow as of time of record. So we've probably got about 4 or 5 days to go. I put up episode 85 last night. So we're about 4 or 5 days away.
Or if you've been twatting about, might be up. Yeah.
Oh.
So then we... one other thing that was on my mind as well, that I might save the Wombro run for remaster, and it might be kind of fun to do a twin hums do Wombro. Like,
this is it. I mean, I'd
be up for that.
Thing is, right, so I was talking to Laura about this, not on camera or anything, like just randomly walking to work. When remaster comes out, I think I might want to do another Wombro, because like it feels like the right way to do it now, because I don't know about you, but like you might have found this like not maybe at the start, but by the time you got to the end, Did you find you'd settled into it quite easily? Like, this is fine. I can do this. It's not a problem. Like, I can deal with what I've got.
The actual one brush?
Just the playing of it. Yeah, like, I know what my guy's about. I've got a shield, I've got a stick, and I need to move away a lot. Like, I know what I'm doing. I've got it down. And it's been more rewarding, I think, than... It's probably the most rewarding run I've done since the first one, I would say. Yeah. It kind of brings back, registered trademark, the fear again. Like, I'm walking into fights thinking I am fucked. I am straight fucked. Whereas I knew that, if you kind of play and you're like level 100, you can plug loads of souls into your gear or your level. You can give yourself a health bar the size of a large thing. I couldn't think of a large thing.
I'm sure you get there.
A health bar the length of a redwood tree. Like, you can give yourself a really big... But with one bro, you're limited to, like... I can take 2 hits. Maybe. 1 hit if I'm not paying attention.
Do you know what the problem is?
What's the problem?
You. Literally, if you fuck up with one bro, the problem is you.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, especially in... I mean, you learn this when I'm doing the Artorias fight. Like, every single fuck up was my own fault. Every single one. There was not a single time where it was, the game fucked me over there. Like, it cheaped me out. It did a bullshit area attack that I couldn't dodge. Every single fuck up was my own fault. And that makes it, at equal points, like, terribly frustrating, but also, like, okay
super
with
rewarding,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, right, that was me. If I learn from that, I will do it next time. And then you make a different mistake.
It's kind of the equivalent that most of us will go into games on the regular difficulty level. But I know the people, like, I can think of off the top of my head, like a couple of people who will go into all new games, like, on hard, because they just feel like they're getting a better, even more old school experience. And I can 100% see that. Yeah,
totally. And this is like... Yeah, we're experienced at the game now. We don't need to play it on open brackets normal mode, because I mean, I consider like a normal mode run of Dark Souls now just like a laugh. Like, I'm just going to pick the biggest sword I can and murder everything in 2 hits. It's going to be brilliant.
But I mean, that opening day is just going to be mental and amazing on every format.
Going to be mad.
I'm so excited. So,
and do you know what's great as well? Because it's going to be opening day, there shouldn't be too many like dick wraiths for a few days.
What?
Think about the work you've got to do to be a level 1 like dick wraith. It's a lot of work. Like, you've got to go and beat the 4 kings before you can properly get into it. And I'd like there to be lots of invasions, but I think it's going to be more balanced, because even like when you get your return to Lordran or whatever events, and everyone says, "Oh yeah, make a new character." No fucker does. Yeah, but no fucker does. I've been invaded with people on like minute 1 of Return to Lordran by someone wielding end game gear. Like, oh, sod off.
But you know that I don't know if it's going to be as severe as Dark Souls 3 was, but whilst everybody else is kind of starting at stage 1, including us, we hold no favour. That streamers and stuff will have had the game probably for about like 2 or 3 weeks. And
I thought you were going to say years.
God, it was a long time with Dark Souls 3, wasn't it? So,
God, that was nonsense, wasn't it?
So PAX East last weekend, Nintendo announced that Dark Souls Remaster will be playable on the show floor.
What?
And then came flat out the most exciting piece of footage I've seen of the remaster from GameSpot. It was off camera. There were issues with the sound capture. Didn't matter. It was a fella playing Dark Souls on a handheld. It took me back to daft conversations like I'd had when Demon Souls Obsession kicked in, and it was sort of like, one day we're playing this on a handheld. We were kind of like hey, the future, eh?
And then everyone scoffed at you.
Well, it back then it was still like a daft thought, but I mentioned the last step of looking forward to going to a coffee shop on launch day with my Switch. Cracking it out, having a drink on the side, just helping peeps, murking fools, getting through the asylum. Like, I am dead excited for this. So then,
I still am concerned for playing a game like Dark Souls, especially if you're doing it in a one bro style, in public, sitting in a coffee shop, everyone's quiet, drinking their coffee, and you're just sitting there with your thing, intensely concentrated, dead silence, and then just from the side of the room, you just hear piss bollocks.
You don't go into I don't do that sort of thing because this is my church. But also, I don't think you go into many coffee shops because people actually have conversations. And which conversation is going to be more important than I've beaten Artorias?
That's true.
Yeah, there we go. You should leave now, sir. You've been here for 3 weeks and you smell.
I'm beating him right now. Look at me do it.
So, yeah, and then some off-camera footage of Blighttown running on Switch.
Okay.
Without a hitch at all. Smooth as anything. On Switch, off-camera, just being played sort of on the handheld.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, but honestly, people have shown the game in like upscaled 4K and all the lighting engines and all the 60 frames per second and all that sort of stuff. Dark Souls on a handheld is really exciting, and it looked great. It genuinely looked great. I mean, the Switch screen is a nice screen anyway, but that looked belting. It looked absolutely belting, and I've not taken my Switch out of the house since I got it, but I will be on that day. I will be skipping across as soon as it arrives. So,
do you think you could maybe there's like a challenge run or like a 4D experience you could do with it. So, say for example, you're doing the early stages in like the Undead Burg or the Asylum. Like, do you got any castles nearby?
Well, there's Nottingham Castle, isn't there?
Yeah, go and find like a dark bit of a castle, sit down and play it there. And then when you get to like the bit when you get to Darkroot Forest, just go out to a local wood at night.
What, like Sherwood Forest?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god, I'm in completely the right place. So
when you get to Ash Lake, go to the beach and play it.
Although there was a gentleman on the Twin Humanities Twitter who was saying that he's not really had much success using the Switch on like a shop Wi-Fi before, so it'll be interesting to see how that kind of reacts. But I'm welcome to the experience. So, but honest to God, you should see this footage because it is great. And whilst it is the least impressive clarity-wise of all the games, it's Dark Souls on a handheld, man.
Somewhere in that soup, I can see a man running around.
No, it's I mean, obviously, it's just like a person's hands working the thumbsticks and stuff. But there's something quite just romantic and beautiful about seeing the game being played like that. It's pretty crazy. Elsewhere, the Solaire amiibo is selling out everywhere. Bamco put up their own stock of it on their website. The basic figure is a couple of quid cheaper there than anywhere else, but they want £6.99 to post it to you.
Eat a penis.
Which means they got my money. Which means I've got one. Hopefully.
Well, okay, so I need to ask you a question then about the Solaire amiibo. Have they shown its base yet?
Yep.
Like the bit it stands on?
Yeah, what
colour is it?
If you read the Twin Humanities Twitter, I posted up a picture of the thing in the box.
Ah. Can you see the flat base it's on?
You can see the entire package. It's sealed.
Is the base stood on gold?
I don't know. I don't remember.
This is what I mean. Like the thing, the physical floor because they've all been taken dead from the front, where you can't see the base.
No,
the idea is that ones with gold bases tend to be in Smash Brothers. And are they hiding that because Solaire's in Smash?
Yeah, it does.
Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, it doesn't.
They've hid it.
Have you seen the actual box art? It's really
nice.
It's
pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the fact they've hid it the fact they've hid it for this long, I think Solaire's in Smash. I think they just don't want to reveal it yet.
Do you know who else I want in Smash? Artorias. Can you imagine Sif coming in, like helping you out, like, smashing somebody with a gob sword? Oh, actually, there is a picture of the base. No, that's a statue. Moving on. So yeah. I was to say they're sending it like by courier, which is quite a strange thing, but at least it means that I'm going to get one.
I can't wait for that. Is it Yodel are the shit ones to turn up and be near your door with a full kit wanker, not bother knocking the door, and you have to chase them down the road for it?
And God, there's somebody that work because our Yodel guys are actually pretty good. But there's another one that's worse than that, and people like Uniqlo use them, and they're just garbage. I can't think what they are, but I remember having trouble with them. I think it was the first Dark Souls guide. They left a note through the door. I called them saying I'd be at work at a certain point and then home for a certain point, and they tried to post it to my house when I was at work. Then I gave them more details, and I think they tried to then deliver it in the time between me leaving work and coming home.
Nice.
And then when I sort of rang up to complain again, at 7 o'clock at night, a guy turned up in a really small car, got out of the car in a full Paris Saint-Germain football kit, and brought it to my door. What?
Full kit wanker.
But yeah, similar news to the Amiibo. Sony has released its Totally Not Amiibo Tataku figures last Friday.
Well, they're not, though, are they? They're just little figures. They don't have any functionality. They're just little figures. Oh, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, but they're trying to storm into that little market, aren't they?
One toxic swamp of the market.
Shut up.
Ruining game shops.
The actual stand for the Tataku figures in game is actually really nice. You get quite misty-eyed because it's just lots of PlayStation memories.
My people.
Yeah. So one of which is the Hunter from Bloodborne. It was selling on the game website to pre-order at $12.99, and then that one was removed from the pre-orders. Okay. So I was like, "Have you got any?" And they were like, "We had two, but they've both been pre-ordered. But we have got a massive delivery in the back. Can you come back in an hour?" Yes. And that massive delivery was all of the figures, so I managed to get one.
Really?
There's also these figures called stubbins, which are like
say that again.
Stubbins.
It's a nice word.
Yeah, and they're plush figures of PlayStation characters. So there's one of Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. There's one of Kratos. There's a Sackboy one, I think, but one of them is the Hunter from Bloodborne.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you need to see a picture of that, I'm sure you might have seen it in a very long thread on my Twitter. But yeah, those Tataki figures, the $12.99, Amazon was selling theirs like the week before for £23. And the Hunter one's still sold out. So Nintendo's official UK store, I'd mentioned, had sold out of their package of the Slayer Amiibo, a metal plate, and the Switch version of Dark Souls Remastered. That bundle's now back up on Nintendo's website without the Amiibo for £35, which is all right.
It's all right.
You get kind of like a metal plate of the cover. Which is
thing with these like figures and stuff and merch stuff. I don't know. I mean, obviously you're not, because I saw that thread, but
you kind of praised me, but also put me down.
That's my style.
Yeah.
So I think I'm past the point now where I need to buy like merch for stuff. Like I don't actively seek it out. Like, if I get it for Christmas and stuff, it's cool. But like I'm looking around my front room, and there's probably I can see like I do the face count. Like how many faces can I see? In terms
Does this
of, like,
include the life-size statue of Solid Snake?
No, he's upstairs.
Oh.
From where I'm sitting right now, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 faces. And that's just turning my head to look at the TV. 27 faces of toys and figures and fluffies and stuff.
Do you know how many I can see?
Oh, God.
1.
Oh?
The little figure of... little chibi figure of Kamen Rider Forze that was brought back from Japan.
Interesting.
By Jay Taylor and his lovely wife. Okay.
Thanks, Jay.
No, well, it was...
But, like, I've got enough stuff now. And, like, I like looking at, like, you know, little cool Bloodborne people and stuff, but I don't kind of feel like I need it. But there is a piece of merch that I am tempted to buy, which is this. You may not know about this, actually. Humble Bundle have got a comics bundle going at the moment, which has the first 2 series of 4, so 1 to 4 and 1 to 4, of the Dark Souls comic.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that fucking terrible Dark Souls comic with the angry face Solaire.
First issue, yeah.
Yeah, I have
good.
the first issue. I have it framed on the wall because the cover is nice. That's it. I read it once, I laughed at it, and I put it in the frame and put it on the wall, and never want to open it again. But Humble have got it in a comics bundle at the moment, with a whole bunch of other game ones. So there's like Dishonored comics and Assassin's Creed comics and Evil Within comics, I think, as well. There's a bunch of like game themed ones, and they've got the first 2 sets. I think you need to buy the $15 version to get all of the Dark Souls stuff. But if you're interested, and like me, don't want to go out and buy them for the reals because the first one was just laughably terrible, but are curious, like, so I've always been curious to read them, this could be a good shout.
Right, we'll do this for the next episode. You read those Dark Souls comics.
Oh, bollocks.
I will source out the Bloodborne comics, and we'll meet in the middle.
Oh, God.
Done.
Oh,
I just
no.
want to say, because you jumped in before the end of my sentence, that Jay Taylor and his lovely wife Kai, who is my tokusatsu buddy. Kai knew that Kamen Rider Forza is my best boy, so it takes pride of place next to my monitor.
Boy.
Back in the bedroom, I don't think I've got that many figures on show in my bedroom. I think a lot of things are sort of still in boxes from special editions and stuff. But I've long since thought about, don't know, getting rid of a few bits from the shelves and maybe sort of putting some of those up. So,
But that's the thing I've got. I look at the stuff I've got and I don't want to chuck it because it's mine. We've got, just to give you a rough idea, we've got a couple of Don't Starve plushies that I bought Laura for Christmas that are, cute. There's the little spider that chases you around, and if you squeeze it, it makes a fun noise. I've got Ratchet and Clank figures, I've got Tekken figures, I've got some Loco Rocos. I've got the original 7 Digimon in plush form that Laura found at work a while ago. It's like, we have to get those, right? And it's kind of like not obvious stuff, but it's stuff that I've got, and there's like a Jehuti from Zone of the Enders, like a Figma of that. Not Figma, what's the other one? What's the really jointy ones? Revoltech, there you go, Revoltech. That my friend Sean found and I managed to buy for Laura. There's the cardboard Metal Gear X that I made. So it's not kind of... It's just special edition bullshit, if you know what I mean. The only thing I'm looking at on this shelf that is what I call, special edition figure is the Dark Souls 2 Haid Knight. And he's great. He stands about 12 feet tall. He's great. But a lot of these statues that come with, special figure edition. The figures always look a bit wank.
Yeah, I have got the Haid Knight and the one from Dark Souls 3.
Sorry, Faram Knight. It's a Faram Knight, not a Haid Knight. I got that wrong.
And
Handed my Souls card.
Let me see. So, 3rd editions, we mentioned on the podcast previously, they smashed the Kickstarter. Hence, Dark Souls Beyond the Grave Volume 2, covering Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, is getting translated, along with books about Final Fantasy VIII, Breath of the Wild, and the work of Yoko Taro.
Those are things I'm interested in.
Yep.
Apart from maybe Breath of the Wild, but yeah, those are things I like.
Yeah, 100%. But what a great milestone to hit when they smashed the target. They were like, yeah, work of Yoko Taro, yeah, fair play. Insert Coin launch a new Dark Souls line of clothing on Friday the 13th.
Do they?
Yeah, including what looks like to be a very tasty hoodie from the preview shot.
Okay, what is it? Is it horrifying or?
No, all they've shown from it is the kind of woven logo that's on this black hoodie. But the woven logo is the sort of the sort of black sun with the fire coming out around it.
The dark sign, do you mean?
Yeah. I need more coffee.
Are we unqualified for this these days? Are we not good at this anymore?
Well, I thought you were the one reacting enough. I'll hand in my card alongside yours.
It's the dark sign. Oh wow! So what is it? Just like a little sewn in, like a little Lacoste symbol, but it's a brand of the undead.
Yeah, I mean that's all they've shown thus far. But I'll see if I can.
See, that's good. See, that's the kind of merch I like. Classy merch that doesn't kind of like video game look on it, but it's still
be. I mean, there's bound to be like more probably on the hood itself and on the back, but it's a very nicely woven dark sign. I've sent you.
That's nice. Thing is, Insert Coin have made some of my favourite merch as well. Like some of my favourite like game T-shirts I've come from there because they're a bit more understated than most. You know, it's not just like I like Dark Souls because it is a hard that's a bad T-shirt. Like my favourite one I've got it's a red T-shirt that advertises tomato ketchup, and it's the brand of tomato ketchup that Snake uses in Metal Gear Solid 1 to pretend that he's dead. And that's. You would never know. It's just a ketchup T-shirt. But I know. And that's the stuff I like. Quiet stuff, like little in-jokes that aren't in your face. That's it. There's a joke there somewhere. We could do that better. We'll come back to that. In-your-face joke. No. Moving on. But I'm excited now. I'm looking forward to that, because Insert Coin makes some good stuff.
I've sent you a link.
I don't have anything else open.
Okay.
I don't record with Twitter open. I'm a good boy. I sit here quietly with a cold cup of tea. Not looking at anything. I'm going to click it. So talk for a minute, and I'm going to click it.
Okay.
Vamp. Good vamping.
Thanks.
That's cool. That is a nice dark sign. I like it. Oh,
you mean like the black sun with the fire around it?
The black sun with the circle of hot.
Yeah, I don't know. This is what happens when
it's really early.
Still early. Yeah.
I like it. I want one.
Whilst you're off later, I'm going to work. So let me see. Dark Souls Remastered Guide. Epic Name Bro is returning to the original book and gives it a wee bit of a special tickle. So it says, Remastered Classic deserves a remastered guide. This very special update to the original Dark Souls game guide brings everything there is to know about the world of Lordran together in one place. We've expanded every part of our original Dark Souls guide to take advantage of many thousands of hours of play since the game's original release. Expect far more than a reprint. All the original data and strategies have been expertly updated, and entirely new sections have been added. Whether you're new to this classic game or about to get sucked in again, you'll die a lot less with this book by your side.
How many have you ordered?
I have ordered one.
Okay.
Obviously.
I wouldn't mind ordering this because I do have a copy of the Dark Souls guide, but I found it in a charity shop for £2. And it's like, oh.
But all of those stats sort of went wonky with, patches that.
Oh, it's fucked. It's wrong. It's very wrong. Yeah.
But yeah, Epic Name Bro on this one. So that's really cool.
And he's worked on the Bloodborne guide. Did he work on the Souls 3 guide as well?
No. He worked
that was the Future one, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Future or Piggyback? He did it.
Future did all of them up to Dark Souls 3. And
Brady Games.
Because don't you remember with that third one there was that Skittle sort of posing as an Estus flask, which they were asking like about £80 for, or 130 quid or something bizarre. But yeah, he worked on Dark Souls 2 guide, the Bloodborne guide, and the Old Hunters guide. But yeah, I mean he's a
Prima did the Dark Souls 3 one. Prima are the offenders.
So he's also, something that I found out, he's also done a Dark Souls 2 refresher lore stream, which isn't going up on YouTube, which I obviously have to check out immediately. So,
okay.
So yeah. Bouncing into other stuff. Firstly, our good friends Ellie Rhodes and Peter Cleaves have both platinum Bloodborne as of Sunday, April the 7th. Massive congratulations and fedora hat tips to you both.
Because well done first, and we haven't done that, have we?
No, I haven't.
I haven't got even close. Like I've still not beaten the Orphan of Kos. Shit,
I haven't started the DLC.
This won't stand.
No, I haven't finished the main game. I stopped at.
Don't say Gascoigne.
No, what's the church towards the end with the kind of jumbo monsters?
The Upper Cathedral Ward.
No, there was a fight on a rooftop where I was getting like totally battered.
Oh, Canehurst.
Yeah, I think you were,
Yeah, that
you
is
were going to come
a
and
hard
tell
fight.
me, but it didn't happen.
And that's completely optional as well.
Yeah, but it was a great level.
True. One of the I missed it on my first run as well. Didn't know it was there. Walked past it.
Let me see. Also, Microsoft sent me my March email, and my favourite game of last month was Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin.
Jesus.
Could be any month in the last 4 years.
Could be any month. Any month at all.
So
in other news, Sky Blue, pigs cannot fly.
In other news, the last step we were having a natter about the remaster, and you said, how many times will that be that you bought it? And we just guess, but you started something deeper. So it had been a while since I got the collection together, and I figured I'd lay it all out and have a gawp. And I started to think, what don't I have? And I started to look into that. And
At this point, is it easier to list the stuff you don't have?
Yeah.
Because this thread is like ridiculous in a good way. It is ridiculous.
And if a delivery goes to Argos today, there'll probably be an 11th tweet on it.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I managed to find the 360 version of the original Dark Souls Special Edition, so I've got that coming in.
Jesus.
Anyway,
I'm looking at this thread again, and it's a joke. It's a joke thread.
So there's stuff I'll never get near, like that Uber statue edition of DS3, the one that sold out in about half an hour with
the yawn one
in it. Yeah.
And
as much as I've clashed with many aspects of DS3, I maybe feel like I've got unfinished business with it. Honestly, I'd still like it. Also,
did you ever do the DLC?
I didn't finish it up. No, but I don't know. This just because my reaction was. I've got a certain reaction in my head about DS3, which is down to the lore, a lot of it, and the way that Miyazaki threw a lot of things out, and it seemed like a reaction against sequels in many ways. But I've forgotten. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff like the boss battles and the things that I really like that I've kind of pushed away. So yeah, I want to give it a bit more time again. There's lots of press packs that we're not posh enough to be considered for, sadly. There's the Scandinavian Web Holland edition with the bag and that kind of night woolly helmet thing. There's those the Japanese remaster special with those bookends that's about like 450 quid.
Yeah. You don't need them.
I do. I can't afford them, but I do. There's a few Japanese Souls covers I fancy. The Japanese cover for Dark Souls 2 HMV had over here, but it's actually cheaper to order the Japanese version than it is to buy the HMV version now over here.
Right.
Which is weird. The Japanese version of the Dark Souls 3 Game of the Year edition is absolutely lovely, whereas we got that gold sort of headline Game of the Year edition.
Oh,
yeah.
God, it's filth, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Fire Fades edition in the Japanese one is really lovely. I still really want that collector's edition of Dark Souls 2, the one with all the shields and swords in the velvet box.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any of the versions of Bloodborne other than the special I bought with the tin books box, the Inkwell
tin box,
and the Beckoning Bell. Although we did get that rather nice press pack.
We did
for that one. So I bought the original Dark Souls UK special edition on 360, like I said. I already had it on PS3. Oh, as I understand it, the US got a tin, whereas we got a cardboard box. So that's something to go for. I bought, as I posted up yesterday, I bought the basic bitch version of Dark Souls 2 on 360, as well as the Scholar of the First Sin edition. I bought the EU Steelbook edition of DS3 on Xbox One, which is grey rather than the blue UK one that I've got on PlayStation. I'll have no money for food. Help me. This is your fault.
Somebody who's good at economy, help.
Well, the nice thing was I got the 360 Scholar of the First Sin edition, like for about £6, like sealed. And I always thought, like, well, because I got the DLC for the original Dark Souls 2 on PS3.
Right.
And I thought if I ever wanted to, if it ever gets made backwards compatible or whatever, like it'd be nice to have the option to be able to go through the original vanilla version. And then I bought this sealed Dark Souls 2 Basic Edition from eBay, and the guy sent it through with a code sellotaped on for the Scholar of the First Sin like stuff. I was like, that's lovely of you.
Nice.
But that was pretty cheap as well. So there's obviously stuff that I can mop up around the periphery, which isn't super expensive. So and again, I don't really collect much of anything anymore. So
I'm looking at this thread, and that's a lie.
It is entirely.
That is the most heinous lie I think I've heard. I'm staring. You have 3 Ostagrove Restora's Estus Flask t-shirts.
No, that's where you're wrong.
I'm sorry, is one of them a hoodie?
And the other one is a jumper.
Oh my god.
So
everything hurts.
Wow, it's like talking to REM. But yeah, and it was nice getting all of that sort of together and stuff. I'm quite chuffed, but I want to. Yeah, I thought of putting up some of the artwork into frames and stuff, but there's more artwork than I could really reasonably convince my landlord to let me hammer into a wall. And also I've got like a big sort of chimney and then like these 2 alcoves either side, and I'd still like 3 connecting pieces from there. And I'd love the Crowsmack stuff, but I'd just get destroyed by postage. And but I think I've seen 3 pieces that I'd like, so that may happen. But yeah, we'll see. So there will be more updates as I continue that thread for an eternity. But yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to post it up.
It was fun. I enjoyed looking at all what I thought were 3 t-shirts and being like, I just had my head in my hands.
Yeah, I remember you like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So streaming wise, Bloodborne, I've been watching a streamer that's new to me. That's called Soraya Slays, who's taking on first Souls game in Bloodborne. She's a really warm, chatty Scottish lass, like amazing connection to those people watching. Just my favourite kind of stream where it's just relaxed and it's fun and people in the stream are nice to each other and cheer one another on, and she's good company. So it's twitch.tv /x Soraya Slays, then SARIA SLAYS, and then another X. But yeah, she's really cool. And probably far too late on this, but Matt Murray of the Computer Game Show is going through Dark Souls, and I always seem to miss the live stream, but I caught Sunday nights, I think it was, and he was having trouble with the Asylum Demon in Lost Izalith. Has that got a particular name?
The one that's on fire. The Demon Fire Sage.
See? Oh my god.
Because I did it about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, there we go. This is why my knowledge of the original Dark Souls is like, what is that?
No, the only reason mine is as good as it is because I've played it recently. I was thinking, even on like the videos I'm recording, I'm talking about stuff I've done in the previous episode, and I can't remember what the thing was called.
That still doesn't sort of remove me from the black circle that's on fire. But you knew what I was talking about.
The black circle that is on fire.
See, this is what you get with this show. We're chatty, we're light-hearted, but my word, when we missed the mark.
Well, look, okay, it is early still.
It is, yeah. And I got in very... It's always wonderful when you return to work after a week off, and then somebody goes, "Oh, by the way, after work, there's a meeting."
Yeah.
Thanks. That's really nice of you.
Thanks for the head up.
Yeah, cheers. Although I did get a pressie, which was nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
People said some nice things, so they got me some stuff. As I said on Twitter, I presumed I was just a really scowly, miserable man, but I'll have to work on that, obviously. And
congratulations for having a good week off. Well done. Oh, thanks.
So, and to finish up, you've been progressing with your Wambro stuff.
I have. I have. So as of recording, and as of probably when this goes up, which will probably be tomorrow, realistically, because I've got things to do today. It might be tonight, who knows? The last episode went up was 85, which is me bouncing off Artorias. Getting progressively worse and worse and worse. Which is fun. When did we last talk? What was I doing the last time we talked about it? 'Cause it's been a while, isn't it?
I can't think, man.
I think I was hitting Isolith. I'm sure I was, because No, because we haven't talked about the Discharge Wars, have we?
I think you were just going into that, yeah.
Fucking hell. So, the thing about the One Bro recording, I recorded a lot by myself for a while, which is actually probably for the best for those areas, because they're not the most interesting. I found myself getting stuck at places I did not expect to get stuck, and I found myself blasting through places I thought would take me a week. So, a good example of this would be the Discharge Wars. I spent 3 full episodes, which is probably 45 minutes, just fighting Ceaseless Discharge. And he's the joke boss. He's one you're supposed to be able to do in one hit, and because I fucked up the original run, to get him to the state where he'll run and he'll jump again is quite difficult, because you've got to be able to get near him to kind of make him take his arm out, I think. I looked this up later and I didn't quite understand it. But the problem is he hits so fucking hard, even with shield up, he was one-shotting me before I could get to him, and there was nothing I could do to roll or dodge. You've basically got a straight corridor to run down to get to him, and he's throwing a fire blast straight down at you. Like, well, what do I do here? Like, there's nothing I can do. I ended up giving up and putting on the Ring of Favour and Protection, which I said that I didn't want to do, but I just needed that extra little bit of health to get me through it. And now I'm stuck with that stupid ring now, which is a bit annoying, because it's too damn useful. But yeah, I spent 45 fucking minutes fighting Ceaseless Discharge, which is it's a non-event boss. It's not even one I think about. It's like, oh, it's easy. Even when I fought him normally, it's like, oh, it's piss. You just hit his arm and he's dead. It's really, really easy. But on the One Bro, jeez, did not expect it. But then to counteract that, later on, the first boss of the Artorias DLC, the Sanctuary Guardian, one and done.
You aced it, didn't you? Yeah.
One and done. Unexpectedly, one and done. I think he just got himself into a weird loop of trying to attack me with the wrong thing. But I kind of stood on the platform near the start of the level and just chucked fire up his butt until he died. And it worked. It fucking worked, man. And there's other stuff I want to talk about, which I can't yet because we're not there. But there is some stuff coming up which I expected to be easy that wasn't, and expected to be hard that, again, I'm just breezing through. I mean, Isolith was not that bad, apart from a few key zones. Like, getting across Dragon Butt Town, the fire with all the Dragon Butts in it. That was harder than I remember. Running through the Weebles is just turgid misery every single time. Like, Dark Souls 1 is a really good game, but bits of Isolith are just bad. They're just boring. Like, here's 30 Weebles in a row. Enjoy this.
You see, this is one of the things where you're knee deep back in Dark Souls again. I'm trying to refamiliarize myself with it because I'm so excited for the remaster, and I realised how long it has been since I played the original Dark Souls because of my description of the dark side.
Black circle on fire.
Yeah. Also, late shift meeting.
I mean, and things like the Bed of Chaos as well. I mean, we all know how shit the Bed of Chaos is, but like on a One Bro, it really is just roll a dice. If you get a 6, you did it. If you get anything else, that run's failed. Like, you just have to run it in because you've got to go past so many Weebles. And if you fight them, you know, you've got to swap out your orange charred ring to run across a bit of lava. Then you've got to go past all the Weebles. And if you don't do that very well, you've got to fight them. And then there's a Chaos Eater, Yogurt Pot with arms to fight on the way. And it's just, it's interminably boring. Just to get to the fight, and then it's like, you know, like I say, roll the dice. Oh, you didn't do it this time, try again. Like, I spent probably 3 episodes on the Bed of Chaos. And I could have done it. If the spawn point was near the boss, it would have been 1. Easily. And if every single hit it didn't throw down a hole, it would have been 1. But as bosses go, it's just so unsatisfying. Like, you don't even... Like I said this on the show, like, I don't even feel good. I didn't feel good about it when I killed it. I was like, well, I rolled a 6 this time, you know, like it didn't feel like anything I was doing was different. It's just this time it worked. And that's probably the only example I can think of. If there are more, I'm sure there's more, but it's the only example I can think of to mind where a Dark Souls fight particularly a boss fight, is just bullshit. Do it until you do it right. Like, and every time you die, it doesn't feel like it's your own fault. It feels like the game's like, ha 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 ha, not this time, fucko. Get in the hole. Go on, fall down the hole. Fuck you, not this time. Do it at least 10 more times, then we'll let you have one. It's depressing. But then to go then from there into the DLC and to do, I think, quite well, getting to where I've got to so far, was quite like, yeah, no, it wasn't me. Like, that was the game that was bullshit there. I wasn't getting stuck because I'm crap. I was getting stuck because the game is bad in that place. Like, and it shows you how well designed the DLC is, because, I've obviously filmed the run up to Artorias, trying to find the elevator shortcut to make my life better. And it was just really fun to play. And I'd seen things on that run that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like I did Seath, and a crab thing came in on the first run of Seath. There was a crab monster in there with Seath and me.
Okay.
I've never seen that before.
I think they can follow you in.
Yeah, I think on the first run, because the fog, the jism wall is there on your second run. But like I thought, yeah, I'll run past them, I'll be fine. And then I turned around, broke the crystal, turn around.
No, mate, you've got
crab. There's a crab running. I'm like, oh dear, oh no. I've had... What's the other weird edge case? So I'm running along the bridge in the Artorias DLC, in the first bit of the woods, when you're running to Artorias himself. The bridge where Calamite turns up, goes rah, and fucks off. So I was running along that bridge, and then this is about 4 or 5 goes in, because I knew what was coming. And I'm running along the bridge, and one of those stone giants just drops right in front of me. I was like, oh fuck, is this a thing that can happen? And then just started throwing its giant earth hammer at me, which was I've never seen that happen before. There was a few in... where was it? What was it? I'm forgetting now. So in Izalith, again, this is all up there now. So, again, I pissed off Onion Bro by accident. So I'll tell the story of how this happened. So I ran out to the bit where you talk to him, and he's like, don't worry, I will save you this time. That cool bit where he's like, I'm going to fight these yogurt pots, you can go do your own thing. And I'm like, of course that's not going to happen, I'm going to help you, I'm going to save you. I'm not letting you in there to die by yourself. And I know it doesn't end well, but, fine, I'm going to help you. So he jumps in, I jump down with him, we fight a bit, and I died in the middle of the fight. I got poisoned and I got hit by a yogurt pot, and I'm like, oh, shit, what does that mean? Is Onion Bro dead now? Is the fight broken? Have I fucked the quest up? So I ran straight back and I jumped in, and he was still down there fighting another yogurt pot. His health must have repinged or something because I died. But he was still okay, so I jumped down there and I help him with the first one. Another one comes around the corner as well, and we fight that one off. And an errant swing clipped him. And I hear the audio clip. Oh, it's like that, is it? Oh, fuck, not again.
No.
Not again. Fucking not. Because this is what I did the first run I did. I clipped him in Anor Londo. And it was like, no. And he chased me across half the map that time. So I clipped him. I was trying to kind of, get away, and he was kind of coming at me. I was like, right, okay, well, I think I'm going to have to kill him to do this. I'm going to have to. So I had to go, and he killed me. Okay, but there's stuff down there that I need, I think. So I went back. And the best episode intro I think I've ever had. I ran back, I find the hole, I can't see him, so I jump down the hole to see what's going on. I land in the poison. He has stood 6 feet behind me, walks up very calmly, and I'm still in the kind of that kind of drop stun where you kind of take a second to get up to your feet. He just calmly walks up, double hands, overhand Zweihander at me, and kills me in one hit. Thump, smash, oh, okay, that can happen. So I eventually went down and did put him down, because I didn't really fancy going all the way back to Oswald and doing the pardoning thing. I don't feel like doing that on this run. If I make a mistake, it sticks, But yeah, I every single time he stands in front of me and gets aggroed, and the fact that I died in the middle of that fight, and the fact that I then had to go back and try and salvage it, and so many just odd edge cases going on in this run, and it might be my favourite run I've had.
Cool. I did wonder, sort of, when we were speaking about Calamite, how many people who have done Wombo runs have actually defeated Calamite and Manus as part of that.
And, like, legit, not the way we did it, where we shot him with arrows for about an hour, and then went and just beat 20% of his health and felt a bit bad.
If you go through a one-bro run with somebody else that's a one-bro, is it still a one-bro run, or is it a two-bro run?
My personal feeling is no.
That's...
I think it's a 1+1 bro run.
1+1, okay.
Yeah, I think it's... I think a 2-bro is a Dark Souls 2 1-bro, and a 3-bro is a Dark Souls 3 1-bro, I think. I don't know. What's the nomenclature?
What a confusing way to end a podcast.
I'm so confused. But, yeah, do you know what, as well? Like, again, we'll talk about this more later, because I've done other stuff that I don't want to spoil on the show. Like, that DLC's fucking good.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's so amazing. Good, and I was able to show Laura a lot of it last night. Like, she's never seen a lot of this stuff. I've been sort of showing her bits and bobs as we've been going. She's like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. And leading me off down the wrong way sometimes. But, like, showing someone fresh, like the DLC, I think we're going to get this a lot when, the remaster comes out. People are going to play it for the first time.
Well, I think there was the thing in the original game where Artorias was a legend. He was a whisper. We got his ring. We knew that he'd crossed the abyss, but that was it. It was just somebody that was spoken about. But to suddenly be there, to be back in time, to have that important connection to not only seeing the way that he was broken and that just astonishing fight, but finding out the birthplace of humanity and how people messed with what they found and poked and prodded and essentially built it into Manus. Calamite was just a stunning callback to the original game, but just one hell of a boss battle in its own. Just the way that you couldn't read that thing that you think you can. But Calamite will just super mess you up with it. It's like, oh, you expecting this? No. Have a bit of this. And also that just canny bit of... I'm not going to spoil it just in case somebody's listening to us and haven't played the original, but the hidden cave on the way to Manus, which just changes everything. And not only within the obvious, but also in connections to a certain covenant, but also if you do the DLC before visiting a certain place and the reaction changes. Yeah.
What a good DLC.
Honestly. But
what a good DLC.
Because it was like a missing piece of the puzzle that you didn't realise that you needed. That it was just special, and I think even with Dark Souls 2, like that DLC was absolutely superb, but it also was a part of the story that you didn't get. That you got. You got, the king raging across the seas to try and find the answer to why his people had lost their minds, and whilst at home he was experimenting on the human condition, the human soul, the dragon soul. He started a war which brought the giants over. That you realise within the Three Crowns trilogy that the king had just like veered left instead of right. That combining all of those crowns would have stopped the curse. And not only were those levels utterly brilliant in their own right, especially together, but it also formed an important piece of the story. That's where I kind of, again, I lean into the DS3 stuff, and it just seems to be not only kind of come across as like cack-handed fan service, but also it seems to be eroding the legend of the original game.
No complaints here. DS3 is the first fuck up. I didn't enjoy the game. I mean, I enjoyed bits of it, but I didn't enjoy it as a whole. And the Dark Souls 3 DLC didn't do a lot for me. I think it's their first flub. It's Artorias. Without going into this again, Artorias to the Abyss, brilliant. The Dark Souls 2 DLC, brilliant. Bloodborne's Old Hunters DLC, fucking brilliant. Like, the 3 DLC is the first one I've bought pre-ordered ahead of time, and it's the first one that's let me down.
It'll be interesting to have a look into that third edition's Dark Souls Beyond the Grave book when it comes out, to see exactly what was going on behind the scenes on that, because a lot of people were surprised that there were so many of the Bloodborne team were involved, that it happened as quickly as it did, and it looked incredibly pretty.
Of course,
the effort was certainly there on that front, but I just wonder how hurried it was, how many of the decisions that were made were Miyazaki's. I think Yui Tanimura was doing some of the level designs as well, which is a surprise considering Dark Souls 2 DLC was so special. There's so many things that misfired in that I'd be interested to read the intricacies behind it. And we've got the Dark Souls 3 design works coming in August, but I wonder if that's going to be as honest as the Dark Souls 2 design works was, which was literally, as I mentioned in the last episode, it was literally, this is what came off, this is what didn't, this is what we had to scrap, this is what we had to bring back together, this is what, it was really honest, and I loved that about it, and it made me appreciate the game all the more, because you realise just how hard those devs fought, particularly Tanimura, like trying to bring a game that was broken on technology that couldn't really handle it, rejigging the story and getting it shipped out on time, and then everything that happened where he the DLC was his own, then the Scholar remix, all that stuff, just fascinating stuff. But it was really warts and all in the art book, and the running commentary by the developers, even before you got to the Q&A section at the back, was just a brilliant read. So I'd like to see. I doubt that'll be in the DS3 art book, but I presume it will be in the third edition's one. And like I say, that first volume is absolutely outstanding. So recommended.
Hey,
we've had a good natter, mate.
God, this is a lot, isn't it? You wouldn't think there'd be this much Dark Souls news in 2018, would you?
I will say right at the end, and it's something that I popped up on Twin Humanities yesterday, but there's a gentleman called Paolo who goes under the Twitter moniker of Rolling Shark, who is a graphics core engine programmer at Sony Santa Monica Studio, and he's been working on God of War. Now, God of War's just exploded to huge reviews this morning.
About an hour ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that it's a lot of people are calling it the best game of the generation. I know the lads from Skill Up was talking yesterday and saying the importance of avoiding spoilers in reviews, because and even when you're taking in a video review, he was saying look away from the screen, because so much that's important is contained in the visual and the reveal when it kicks in. He was like, I wouldn't want anybody to have that sort of ruined for them. So I just wanted to say, like, congratulations to Paolo. He's done an amazing episode of Don't Give Up Skeleton, which we posted up on the Twin Humanities Twitter. But if you click that, it's Don't Give Up Skeleton episode 25. But he's a huge Dark Souls fan. So congrats.
It was exuberant and enthusiastic, and I loved that episode. That was so much fun to listen to. So
yeah, congratulations on the launch, and lots of hard work that's super paid off. So well done, man.
I kind of weird, not to derail because we're very near the end now. Like, I was really up for God of War, and then the last month I've kind of cooled on it a bit, and now this morning, seeing all the reviews drop, I've not even read them. I've just seen like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 everywhere. I was like, fuck, maybe I need to get back on this shit.
I kind
of cooled a little bit because, like, I saw a quick video. I was like, "Oh, you can change armor pieces," and my brain just turned off.
There was, nothing had really turned my head with God of War, and it was another one of those things where I hate seeing games 3 years in advance. It's just I don't want to see a girl playing guitar and knowing that game is going to come out in 2020.
They really fucked the Dark Souls 3 release, didn't they?
But it's just, I mean, look, we've spoken about it before. The Bloodborne sort of reveal through to it coming out was fantastic. But but yeah, it's a few days ago I watched that Harryhausen documentary again, and then I watched Clash of Titans, and I'm going through like a bit of a Harryhausen sort of rework, and all of a sudden, like I stared at some of the skill up conversations yesterday, where he wasn't allowed to sort of truly say what he said, what he thought. But I was just thinking, what was it he said? Let me see if I can find the stuff today. He said, this is on Twitter, God of War is an absolutely unparalleled achievement and the defining game of this console generation. Not since Zelda Ocarina of Time and Mario 64 has a franchise evolved in such an inspired way. And he's given like a brief review, which he says is 1,000% spoiler free, and he's going to go into a deeper one later on. But yeah, I mean, he started here. God of War 2018 is a rare moment in gaming when it feels like all the progress of our medium can coalesce into a singular achievement.
Jeez.
So yeah, heads very much.
God of War Battle Royale coming out next week.
So yeah, it's kind of exciting to see something sort of explode like this.
And for God of War, a series that, let's be fair, gaming media doesn't really care that much about normally. Like, oh, Kratos is very angry. This is the only thing worth talking. Like, the discourse for God of War always used to wind me up, because I used to really like playing the games. Like, this kind of big, giant mechanical puzzles and big smashy fights and a really angry boy who's just there to fuck things up. Like, I really enjoyed God of War. Like, I really bought into the whole thing. But you look at the internet discourse about it, and it's just, oh, Kratos is one-dimensional. He's just angry for no reason. And that stuff always wound me up. It's like, there's more there than that, guys.
Did you see that GameSpot video with David Harbour from Stranger Things? Where
I didn't.
He's playing. It's really good. It's really good. He's got Corey Balrog, David Harbour, and who's going to be Hellboy, isn't he? And Lucy James from GameSpot, and they had like a brief preview of it. And it was great. He's proper getting into the story.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I will look.
Oh, mate, Morbid Beers just said God of War seems to be killing it. Give me that game. I want to be a man with a beard controlling a man with a beard. Hey. Except he's more built than I will ever be. Yeah, so I can see, cross-intos and crossovers from our side of the fence. So, and especially with that parallel connection. But yeah, give that episode a Don't Give Up Skeleton a listen. It's episode 25. But yeah, we've covered everything. So we're trying to keep on top of things. If you want news, I'm trying to make sure everything that I can find gets on the Twin Humanities Twitter, and we'll have a proper. I'd imagine we'd probably catch up next after the network test.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay.
Now if it's like
I'm trying
6
to stay
weeks until.
Yeah, it's soon, isn't it? It must be. I'm trying to stay, not intentionally, but like I'm not really following it. So like any news you bring to the show generally will be a first to me, so we can get that sweet React money. Because internet loves reactions, don't they?
That's where all the clicks are.
That's all the money is. Yeah, reactions. And I will do a react. I've been doing faces this whole time. Have they been coming through?
Did you? Yeah. In your tone of voice.
Yeah. Oh.
Calm down, Scooby.
He replied quizzically, "Hey,
Raggy."
No.
Right. So yeah, we'll catch you next time. Hope you enjoyed the show.
I did. Thanks.
Yeah, it's good. And goodbye. I'm going to get ready for work now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to enjoy my day off. Way. Podcast.